The vinyl siding system consists of basic panels that are of different shapes and different textures. The system includes a set of finishing slats. It is a wide range of finishing slats that will meet the needs of every contractor. First of all, we have a starter slat, which is necessary to begin the assembly. Then we have an external corner slat, and an internal corner slat. The finishing slat, which can also be used for other purposes than the one suggested by its name, and other slats will be shown during the assembly. The slat that is the most popular and best recognized by contractors is the J-trim slat. The eaves slat is used when we want to ensure proper drainage and take the water away from the building. Then we have a connecting slat for connecting the panels to the facade. A facade slat that can be used to finish a window recess or a fascia board. Then there are two window slats, a small and a large window slat. The difference between them is that they have various arm lengths, different surface coverings, and they offer different window recess finishing possibilities. Before proceeding with the assembly, we need to prepare the substructure. It's a laborious operation, and judging from the information given by contractors, this procedure takes from 70 to 80% of the entire assembly time. However, everyone also claims that it is time well invested, since a well-made substructure reduces the time of assembly. When preparing the substructure, you need to take into account the joints between the panels along their length, or the places of fixing any tape of slats. It is very important to remember that the spacing between the substructure straight edges must not exceed 40 mm from one straight edge axis to another. Then, after the entire substructure has been prepared, proceed to the installation of the finishing slats. Here, it is very important to remember to mark a point from ground level, which is then used for the entire building. It is required that the distance from the ground level is 150 mm. From ground level to the slat we also have a distance of 150 mm, and it is the level on which all vertical slats are attached, as well as the starter horizontal slat. The starter slat is one that basically runs around the whole building. But you can also finish the lower part in a slightly different way. You can also use the eaves slat, thanks to which you will gain additional drainage. In such cases, install the eaves slat before installing the starter slat, and then install the starter slat and the panel. This way, you get additional drainage beyond the outline of the building. Before installing the panels, determine the size to which the panels should be cut. At this point, let me remind you to read the assembly instructions, in which you will find a special graph showing what expansion gaps should be left between the panels, depending on the ambient temperature, in order to allow the panel to expand properly in the finishing slats. Insert the first panel into the starter slat and slide it into the vertical finishing slats. It is very important to ensure some free space for this panel to work in the slats. For this, place the panel so that it is more or less in the middle. The same expansion gap should be applied on both sides. Then fix the panel using screws. Place the screw in the middle of the kidney slot. at the same time remembering to leave some free space for the panel to move. The siding system allows us to combine different panel shapes as well as to combine different colors. For this, we must use a connector slat, and then we can arrange the building facade any way we like. Insert the panel for the next layer into the previous panel, move it, and now something typical of Vox products, the panels are equipped with a click lock. After mounting, the panel is rigidly embedded and it won't drop. At this point, you can move freely, grab another panel, mount another panel, or reach for tools. This is a typical feature of Vox products. Now we just need to finish the facade under the windowsill. To do this, we will need a panel that has already been cut to the desired length. Due to the fact that the cutting is located in a place where there is no support, we will finish it by first using the J-trim slat. The finishing slat will slide into the J-trim slat, and then between the finishing slat and the J-trim slat, we will slide the panel, which will give us the desired stiffness. Let me show you how to mount it. The J-trim strip is already screwed on, fixed. We have the finishing slat fixed. And then, as I have already mentioned, we need to insert the panel. The panel should be inserted into the upper edge of the panel lock and placed at the top between the finishing slat and the J-trim slat. This way, we obtain the proper stiffness for this part of the facade. Now, we just need to install the last panel. In this case, the panel is cut to ensure adequate stiffness, so we do not have to prepare any additional support for this panel. We can then proceed to the final assembly. By doing this, we have prepared an appropriately finished facade.